Hello, today we're talking about the July 2023 housing market for Newport News and Virginia on the peninsula. We're looking at just single family, and this is residential detached. The median sales price is about $300,500. This is up 9% compared to last year, which is pretty great. But a little bit down compared to June. Usually July is kind of like the peak time where a lot of people who are moving with children might plan to move. So we're kind of seeing that. And then when it comes to settled sales are actually down compared to last year. I think last year we had a lot of people who were just really anxious to move because it was 2022 and 2021 had a huge decline in sales overall. But this year we're up at 151 sales for Newport News. The median days on market is about 13 days. I've noticed that with my buyers, we're seeing that once we get from the point, whenever, whether it's like a move-in ready or a fixer-upper, the days on market are much lower than they used to be compared to last month and last year. Compared to last month, we're about 7% lower with 13 days, and people are making offers above asking. There was a fixer-upper that I went to see, and we made an offer for $200,000, and it was asking price, a little bit above asking. They were asking $199, and we offered $200,000, and they actually accepted an offer for $220. So people are making offers above asking here, and then when it comes to the price per square foot, it's a little bit down compared to last month because just like the median price is a little bit down, the price overall is definitely up. Homes are appreciating for Newport News. People want to move here, and the number of listings is also a little bit down too. It's definitely a seller's market because demand is high. Buyers are interested to move. They have to move. We have a large military population here, so when it comes to just moving in general, we also have that influx of people that are moving for jobs related to the military and contracting work for the military. When it also comes to active inventory, we have 209 active inventory for single family homes. This is not including townhomes or condos that are attached buildings. So we're also down 1.4 month supply inventory, and this means that it would take 1.4 months to sell everything, all 209 listings, if there was no new homes listed for sale and no sellers decided to list their home today. And let me just finish this off with some information that I have from Redfin. They collect a lot of data that I think might be useful for you guys. So pretty much they're saying that for Newport News, homes are selling in about 18 days. I know this is different than the median days on market, but really average is what they're using, and they're saying on average homes are selling for about 1% above list price at 18 days. So if your home is kind of sitting for longer than that nowadays, that would probably be an indication for you to discuss repricing your home and just kind of getting that price to the point that where you'll have more buyer activity, because most buyers, they want to buy low, and when they see that extra high price, that kind of can resist trying to see your home, or just kind of make them not want to see it, and you don't want a home that sits in the market. Overall, when it comes to where people are moving to and where people are moving from, Newport News is seeing the number one place people are moving from to Newport News is actually a place where I actually grew up. And I moved from from Washington, D.C. to another place before I moved down to Hampton Roads. But Washington, D.C. has had about 2,023 people, the same year we were in, moved to Newport News. It is the number one place people are relocating from. New York is number 2, about 500, and then Richmond is number 3, Los Angeles, California, Philadelphia, San Diego, Boston, Chicago, Seattle, Washington, and San Francisco, California are also places where people are moving from to Newport News. And on another note, I saw an article where they said that Virginia is tied with Mississippi as the number 8 state that is best for flippers. Going on to another area where people are moving, and this is the migration of people moving out. So when it comes to Newport News, like I said, or I might have said this before, but 26% of people are choosing to leave Newport News, 74% are choosing to stay within the metropolitan area and are staying in the area. So we have most people are the top 3 places, basically. People are leaving Newport News for are Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, and Miami. Then we have Georgia, Houston, Texas, Tampa, Florida, Dallas, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Hickory, North Carolina, and Sarasota, Florida is number 10. When it comes to offers, I would say that it definitely is something that depends on the house and the price point. So when it comes to homes that are kind of towards average price point, we said the median price point for everything pretty much last month was $270, and now it's a little bit over $300,000. I would say when it comes to writing an offer, seller's market, you always want to kind of consider what the seller would prefer. Have your agent ask them what they think might be a reasonable offer, despite price if you can. Are certain terms favorable or not as favorable for the seller? And also just when it comes to demand, I would say whether it's rehab or move-in ready, turnkey stuff, everybody is seeing multiple offers. It's a strong seller's market. If you thought about selling or buying a home in Hampton Roads, I'm happy to help you out. Please reach out to me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. For Newport News, attached townhomes, condos on the peninsula, the median sales price is $210. There were 43 settled sales, and this is a little bit down. 18.9% is quite significant. I would say that June was a much better month. As you can see in this graph, it's kind of leveled out to be much closer to what it was last year, which was closer to 40, high 30s for the attached sales. Median days on market is 16 days. They're selling 3% more than last month, but 10% more than last year at the speed. So I would say it's kind of like leaning towards a normal market, because usually what you want to save is a seller's market is when the days on market are down, but the median price is up. And that's what we're seeing for single family. So I would say attached homes are leveling out a little bit. We're approaching a normal market. However, offers are still above asking. And this is really, I would say, a credit to the interest rates and the amount that people were qualified for versus how much now they're able to afford by the time they're deciding to buy a house. On average, it takes about 10 weeks or so for a buyer to decide on whether or not they want to buy a home. And at that point, you might be at that stage where maybe you didn't lock in your rate, or maybe you weren't necessarily sure about what you would get because you were still in the underwriting process. And so you get to the underwriting process, you get results, and maybe your lender told you that you qualify for a certain amount. And then at this point, once you're done and you find a house and you've looked at homes and you've compared and been rejected and had issues and gone through all of this, and you finally write an offer, and at that point, maybe you just qualify for maybe 10 or 20,000 less. And so maybe we're seeing that people who might have thought they were going to get a single family home ended up buying a townhome in a much similar neighborhood because that's what they preferred, or that's what they could afford in terms of monthly payments, you should always really consider that as your key deciding factor. So going back to what I was saying before, we are experiencing what we would call a seller's market. The number of new listings is down 39.2%. That's huge. We only have 48 new listings, and then we have 77 active listings for Newport News, 1.8 month supply of inventory, which means that if no sellers decided to sign with any realtors and list their homes, it would take 1.8 months at this current pace to kind of sell everything on the market. So seeing that is way up compared to last year, I'm glad to see that sellers are, I guess, having more faith that they can sell their attached homes. But we are definitely not seeing as many listings as we would like. So I would say that a lot of my buyers are seeing that like they have multiple offer situations and they end up not getting the house that they wanted, and they have to keep looking or maybe make certain sacrifices in terms of condition or the exact area they wanted. If you are considering selling your attached home, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you out and determine the best price for you to get that home sold quickly so you don't leave any money on the table. And yeah, so thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions. For multifamily Newport News, there isn't really much to say here. We have about 2 listings for multifamily. I would say there's a lot of more potential in other previous months, as you can see in the previous graphs, but that's it. And then when it comes to land, we have 20 active listings. I would say that if you are interested in getting land, make sure you really do your due diligence on it. It can be not very kind to beginners if you aren't willing to do deep research and have patience before you buy. Thank you so much. And for all your real estate needs, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help home buyers and sellers as well as investors.